So I was on Reddit reading about how atheism is a lack of belief, and that anybody who doesn't believe that atheism lack of belief is an idiot, so on and so forth. It reminded me of a video that I made a while back saying that atheism is not a lack of belief, and so stop saying it is. I got a lot of flack for it. I ended up deleting the video because I did see I made some bad points, but I was kind of right because as I see it now, a lot of atheists claim to be, claim that atheism is just a lack of belief. But in all reality, when you come out and say that, God is imaginary, so on and so forth, that if you believe in God, you're irrational, those are beliefs. You can no longer claim that atheism or your atheism is a lack of belief. Because if you actively believe that God is imaginary, that's a belief that you actively actually hold. You actually believe that God is imaginary, so on and so forth. And if you believe that God is imaginary, then you can't say that you have a lack of belief because you have an actual belief that God's imaginary. I think it logically makes sense. And it really got me thinking of like the different types of atheism, like if you're atheist or anti-theist, so on and so forth, and the difference between the two. And I think it really breaks down to two things that the majority people, the majority atheists here on YouTube are either anti-theist or the atheism isn't a lack of belief. Because let me put it like this: like Neil deGrasse Tyson said, he's not an atheist. The only atheist I am is a scientist. And why would you have a word for a non-golf player? And he made a good point. Why would you have a word for a non-golf player if there's a certain, besides the reason that you need to actually describe a group of people? And the thing is, I don't think there's not a need for atheism or the word atheist for the majority of people who are just non-golf players. And what I mean by non-golf players, if you're a non-golf player and the only thing atheism is to you is a lack of belief, so on and so forth, then you're gonna be a person like, what do you think about golf? Like, do you like playing golf? Do you think golf is good or bad? Golf is indifferent to me. Would would you ever play golf? I just think it's just not for me. I don't dislike it and I don't like it. That's a lack of belief in God. That's a lack, that's a non-golf player. It's just a person that doesn't play golf. But if you're a person that comes out and says, what do you think about, I think golf is the stupidest, most irrational, most ignorant and arrogant sport that is out there. It causes mass stupidity, ignorance, so on and so forth. It's responsible for all the genocide in the world, and anybody who believes in golf is a fucking idiot. That's not a non-golf player. That's not a lack of belief in anything. That is an actual belief. You believe that it's irrational to be religious or to believe in God, so on and so forth. That's an act of belief. If you believe that God is imaginary, that's an act of belief. That's not a lack of belief. You actually believe something. And to say that all atheists just have a lack of belief is fucking bullshit. Because a lot of the atheists do believe in stuff. They believe that God's fucking imaginary. They believe that God is fucking made up. It's not like they're waiting for proof or looking for proof. They actively believe that God is made the fuck up. So to say that all atheists have a lack of belief, the only thing atheism is a lack of belief, is fucking bullshit. And I mean, seriously, it just gets annoying when I constantly hear this fucking argument. Like, the only thing atheism is a lack of fucking belief. And I can talk as much shit about Christianity or talk as much shit about, whatever fucking religion, all the fucking want, and I can still claim that I don't actually believe in anything. I just have a lack of belief in something. Like, seriously, be a fucking bigger prick, why don't you? That's bullshit. If you're gonna talk shit about Christianity, say Christianity is wrong and Jesus was fake, so on and so forth, Jesus was never real, you're holding a fucking belief. That's not a lack of belief. You're actually actively holding a belief. So, I'm just saying that atheists can say that atheism is a lack of belief, but the majority of atheists can't claim that. If you've ever said that God's imaginary, that's irrational, believe in God, so on and so forth, that you're fucking stupid or you're weak-minded to believe in God, those are active beliefs, and you can't say that your atheism is a lack of belief. Your atheism is a belief. And, that's just my 2 cents on the whole fucking issue. I'm just sick of this fucking bullshit. Atheists are supposed to be illogical, so on and so forth. Well, if you're logical, you can understand that my logic is fucking sound. You can't say that, you can't say that you can't go out there and say that you're stupid for believing in God and say, well, what do you believe? Well, I just lack a belief in God. No, you believe that person's stupid for believing in God. And since you believe that person's stupid for believing in God, you obviously believe that God is stupid. So that's a belief. It's not a lack of belief, it's a belief that you hold. If you can't understand that, you're ignorant, stupid fucking fuck. And you got your head so far your atheist ass that you can't even see the fucking truth. I'm just saying. I'm not saying all atheists are like that. I'm sure there's some atheists that are just like, I've actually, truthfully, I've met some atheists that just, are like, I just don't believe in God, I just haven't seen proof for God, so I just don't believe in God. It's not like, yeah, well, God's imaginary, so and so forth. It's just, I just lack the belief in God. And those people have the right to say that atheism is just a lack of belief in God. Their atheism is a lack of belief in God. But that is by no means the majority of atheists out there. By no means. At least the majority of atheists I've dealt with on YouTube and in other places. So, atheism, to the majority of atheists out there, it's not a lack of belief. It's an actual belief. It's a belief that you hold. If you ever said anything like God's imaginary, your atheism isn't a lack of belief. It's an actual belief. And regardless of what you fucking try to, turn around or twist up, it's still the fucking truth. Peace. I'm out this bitch.